Hi everyone, it's Giselle with another message for today. And I want to talk about how sometimes we don't get what we think we want. And I can totally understand it's very frustrating, very discouraging. And at times when it's happening to you, you may feel like life is unfair and what's the point in all of this? And there's no such thing as true love. And, you know, why do I have to ask for something and want for something and then for it all to blow up and for me to not actually get what I wanted? And there is a reason behind that and behind everything. Because you are constantly asking, whether you do it in prayer or do it in thought forms that you're not even aware of, you are asking your higher self, your soul, and the universe, the divine, you are asking them for what it is that you truly want. And when you think you found what it is you truly want, but it doesn't turn out the way that you had hoped, then it's because it's not really the thing that you truly want. It may be something that resembles what you want, but it isn't really. And the reason why you're not getting it, no matter how much you struggle against everything, is because if you were to get that thing or that person, then it's going to make you end up in a situation that really isn't for you. And let me give the example of my false twin, because I think that's a good example, and that perhaps some of you may relate to it if you have gone through it yourself. So I met my false twin at the beginning of 2014, just about a month after I'd broken up with my ex of 8 years. I said a prayer to the universe because I wanted to go straight into dating again. I didn't feel I had any time to just sit by myself, and that was mistake number one. After 8 years, you need some time to find yourself again. Even if you think you haven't lost yourself, being with someone and in their energy for so long will kind of warp the true essence of who you are a little bit, and I know for a fact that that's what happened with me. I needed to take time out to rediscover me, to rediscover my passions, and to redefine what it was I was looking for in a relationship. But I was too concerned with, no, I gotta get out there, get dating again. There's no time to waste. So I put out a prayer to the universe one night when I was feeling really sad and angry that I'd gone on yet another failed date the night before. This was date number, gosh, I don't know, number 5 since being single again. So since for the past month, I'd be on 5 dates with people I didn't want to be on dates with. It was, in my perception now. Well, back then, sorry, not now. Now I think it's a good experience to have had. But back then, I was so discouraged and so angry that why do I deserve to go on these awful dates with these crazy people, and what's happened, I wasn't used to this kind of dating scene either, because I'd been with somebody for nearly 10 years. It was so different back then. There was none of this Tinder apps and, it was just so different. People don't take you out to dinner anymore. They just want to turn up at your house or go out for a drink and then go and be intimate. And like, I was not looking for that. And I was so angry and so discouraged. So I was in a hell of a state and was really upset. And I said, universe, please, I just want to be in a relationship. That was mistake number 2. Is I did not define a relationship. I said a relationship, and I had a vague idea about what I liked in a person. And silly old me, I didn't define what really mattered, and all I wanted was someone who was thin because my ex got a bit chubby. I wanted someone over 6 foot tall because my ex was short. And I wanted someone handsome. Wow. Oh, and also I wanted someone who had a few things in common with me. Hobby, for hobbies and things. What a shallow, ridiculous request, right? I mean, now looking back at it, and you probably agree, well, that's a recipe for disaster. But I didn't care. I wanted that. That was my ideal relationship. And so I met my false twin that very night. I met him, and when I looked at him, I was like, oh my God. I met him online, by the way. But I saw his photo and I was like, oh my God. The heavens have opened up. My prayers have been answered. I found the person that I'm meant to be with. This is exactly the description of what I wanted. Someone who plays guitar, someone who's tall. I think he was 6'3" or something. Someone who was, thin. I mean, now looking back, he was a bit too thin for me. I'm more towards the athletic body type. It doesn't matter. And someone who was, tall, dark, and handsome. And so I was like, wow, cool. I can't believe my prayers were answered so fast. And so we spoke via email for 2 weeks, which I was just like, oh, this is like old times, this is like the old 90s way of getting to know somebody, is to properly talk. And the emails were pages and pages long. Like, we properly got to know each other. Well, not really. The shallow side of getting to know somebody. What are your hobbies? What holidays have you been on? What kind of things do you want to achieve in the future, relation, to this kind of career and stuff. And none of the real things that really, really mattered to me got answered. But, on paper, it was like, oh my God, this is my dream man. Oh my God, this is amazing. He then initiated meeting me after 2 weeks of talking, and I really valued that. I was like, you know what? This guy really respects me. This is so cool. He offered to go and take me out for drinks. This is really nice. Didn't offer to turn up at my door and go and, none of that. And so I thought, wow, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted. The universe answered all my prayers. So we met and everything was going good. And I thought I really wanted to be with this person based off of, the chemistry that was there. And it just felt really, ideal for me at the time. But then as time went on, the universe was not letting me have what I wanted. I did not end up in a long-term relationship with him. And at the time, I couldn't understand it. And red flag number 3 should have been, setting off alarm bells within me, but I ignored them anyway, was that when he cut himself off from me without a reason, he never said, by the way, I don't think we should see each other again. He just never spoke to me again, but kept me there, kept me able to contact him, basically. He didn't block me, he didn't cut me off. He was there, but just not responding, just ignoring me, ghosting me. And I was so angry with myself, the universe, like, how unfair. And I should have realized from my reaction, I was not acting out of self-love. I was acting out of fear and insecurity and codependency. I wasn't putting myself first. My initial reaction was, okay, whatever it is, I'm really sorry. I feel that I screwed things up and I may have blown it forever, but please, can we just go and have a cup of coffee and something and talk about this? That was my response to him being silent. And I know that looking back, that was really not good. That was not an act of self-love. That was an act of lack, an act of doubt, an act of fear. And in hindsight, what actually ended up happening is he got into a relationship about a year later, maybe, with somebody who managed to get married to him. But then the marriage, I mean, it moved really fast. They got engaged within a couple, like 9 months maybe of meeting, and then got married within another 6 months of the engagement, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy fast. And basically their marriage didn't last maybe, I don't know, 3-4 months. They were married in June or July and got divorced in October. What in the heck? And all throughout this, I had readings. I tried to understand what this was, and people who were blowing smoke up my backside were saying things like, oh, yeah, he's your twin flame, he'll come back to you, blah, blah, blah. But deep down in my heart, I felt pinched off from who I truly was. I felt disconnected from the divine. And I felt this pain. Every time someone said, he's your twin flame, it literally hurt my heart to hear those words. And that should have been red flag number 4, is he was not my twin flame. And there was no spiritual connection between us. Unlike with my true twin flame I am connected to all the time. In dreams, on the 5D, on the 3D, all everywhere, right? But the most important connection between me and my true twin is that spiritual link that through separation I discovered, and that was the biggest gift. But the reason why things could not work out between me and my false twin was because my higher self knew the request I put in to the universe is through discovering what I did not want with other relationships, with my false twin. I have clearly defined the relationship that I want, my true love, the love of my life, the person that I'm going to marry, did not match my false twin. And this is why I was being held separate from that desire ever coming to fruition. This is why my higher self kept making sure that events transpired so I would not ever get back in touch with him. I never had signs and synchronicities with my false twin. I never had a spiritual connection. Whenever I tried to use my intuitive gifts and perform psychic readings for myself, I was pinched off. I couldn't even connect. With my true love, I connect instantaneously. I'm connected all the time. You can tell night and day the kind of connections. But this is why, you may be asking yourself, why don't I get what I want? It's because what you think you want doesn't match what you've truly put out there. What your true desire is that you may not be 100% aware of. And if you don't listen, what the universe does, it's if you imagine you're walking a path and there's a big kind of wall next to you, if you're not walking the path in the direction that you should be walking in accordance with what you've requested to the universe, then it's going to start crumbling a little bit and little pieces of brick are going to start to fall. And you're going to be like, that's unusual. What is going on? But if you continue to walk the path that you shouldn't be walking, bricks are going to start to fall out of the wall and in front of your feet as obstacles, and you're just going to be like, okay, should I jump over these or... And you're still not getting the hint, and you're still walking that path, your wall is going to come crumbling down, just like it did for me and my false twin. So follow your guidance and your intuition. If something is not unfolding the way that you want it, listen to your heart. When you think of this person, do you feel love and warmth, or does it feel disconnected from your true essence and from the divine? Because every time I thought about my false twin, all I could think were thoughts of despair, thoughts of, wow, we're never getting back together, or this is never happening for us, is it? And I believed those thoughts. You may have those thoughts in passing, about someone who is your true love, but you'll always go, no, that's nonsense. I don't believe that. That doesn't resonate. But if it resonates and it feels like you're taking comfort in the kind of thoughts of, wow, this is never going to happen, love isn't for me, and all that kind of nonsense, then that's your intuition telling you that you're on the wrong path and you must turn around and find a different one. Because if you keep asking, but you're not listening to what the universe is bringing you, and the universe is always giving you signs, then it's going to come crumbling down. And that's why you may not be getting what you're wanting, because it is not matching your true desire and what is true, for you. If I was at the vibration of my false twin, Say, for instance, I was like the girl that he married, right? And we clicked and we got engaged and we got married, then yeah, I could have had that marriage, but would it have been the best thing for me? No. Probably would have ended up the same way as he did with her, and ended up getting divorced after a couple of months. But my higher self and the universe knows me in and out better than I know myself, because sometimes my ego gets in the way and I don't really know myself at times. So they know exactly who I am and what I want and my true desires. And as long as you are open and you are allowing that to flow into your life, they'll always want to put you on the best path for you. So I hope that this has helped to clarify some things for people who are not understanding why things aren't unfolding for them the way that they want. And if you'd like to connect with me, all my details are in the description box. Thank you all very much for watching and have a beautiful day. Namaste.